I want that ring. I believe you still have it?
Ha! First he brings me the ring, then he wants it back.
Well, those are the rules of the game, right?
True enough. Only I did the sensible thing and hid it carefully. It's not so much about the free booze. I'm just a competitive bastard by nature. But just to make things interesting, here's a wee clue for you. Find the dead standing among the living and turn your eyes heavenwards.
I've got the ring.
Kuno won't know what hit him. I'll drink the alehouse dry just to get my money's worth. Here, have a drink yourself, on me.
Thanks. Enjoy. What's happening?
Like I said, maybe you might help me out.
It wouldn't by any chance have to do with the ring I got for your brother.
Ha! How did you guess?
Put it down to my amazing powers of deduction?
So, are you gonna get it for me? It won't be easy, mind. Jan thinks I might try to steal it. The mistrustful bastard.
Nah, alright. Why the hell not?
Great. Best thing is just to pinch it. He watches me like a hawk. But you...
I got the ring.
Brilliant. Jan will have a fit. Here, have this for your trouble. You've earned it.
What's up, Kuno?
It's about that accursed ring.
What, again?
Aye, I heard the fellas had you running around for them. You mustn't let them take advantage of you. Anyway, it's all gotten a bit out of hand. I wanted to raise morale, but instead I've got them at each other's throats.
Yeah, true enough. But what do you want me to do?
I want you to get the ring from Petter and bring it to me. I can't just take it back, see? I'd lose their trust. Besides, Petter's hidden it somewhere. He won't be willing to give it up.
All right. But I hope this is the last time. I'll bring you the ring and the game's over.
Don't worry, I've done with this game. In future, I'll just buy the fellas a drink now and again. Let them play their own games.
Look here, Petter. About the ring I gave you.
Yeah? What about it?
I need to have it back.
Well, that's tough. And don't think you can pinch it from me. I've got it well hidden.
Supposing I take it from you fairly. At dice, maybe?
Ah, you know me too well, Henry. Fine. We can play for it. As long as you can put up a decent wager.
Fine. Let's play.
That's what I like to hear.
Here it is.
Oh, good. Finally, there'll be peace around here. And listen, I won't invite you for a drink, since it's not the right occasion. But I've got something special for you.
Thank you kindly. I found Jakey, and I know what Hagen is planning.
Spit it out, then.
Zul plans to raid Samapesh, and he wants to lead the attack himself.
I see. And what about that treacherous little bastard?
I took him to the Ratai jailhouse.
What will happen to him?
That's up to Sir Radzig. Considering what he did, he'll be lucky to get out of it alive.
I'm not so sure. Radzig always had a soft heart. He got me off the gallows, after all. Saddle up now. We'll ride to Samapesh right away.
All right.
There they are. I can see Zul's colours. It seems they want a parley, sir.
Parlay, eh? Right then. Let's parlay.
God be with you, Sir Kuno.
My respects, Sir Hagen.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure since the siege of Lansenbach, wasn't it?
An age ago that was. In those days we fought under the same banner.
We did. And even today, we may yet part friends. After all, my quarrel is not with you, but with Kobila.
The thing is, your quarrel with Lord Kobila is my affair, since he tasked me with keeping order in his lands. And you, Hagen, you are disturbing that order.
No offence, sir, but you are just a mercenary whose main concern is keeping order in his purse. My dispute with Radzig Kobila concerns a higher ideal. Kobila shamed my family over a trifling misdemeanor. He hanged my father, razed our castle to the ground, gave our property away to his family and cronies. And for that, I demand just retribution. But you don't have to stand in my way, Kuno. I'm well aware why you serve Radzig. You owe him a favor. And from what I've heard, it's not the first time you've had to pay him back. It won't be the last either. The fact of the matter is, you fight Kobila's battles for him, and you've little or nothing to show for it. If you accept my offer, on the other hand, you can ride away from here a rich man. What do you say, sir?
Kuno, you can't do it.
You're making a common mistake, Henry. There's a difference between what a man can't do and what he ought not to do. In this case, the difference is the size of Hagen's offer.
I understand. But supposing I make up that difference out of my own purse.
You? Henry, have you seen the size of that chest?
I have, but you might be surprised. And what have you got to lose, anyway? Coin is coin, and if you stay on our side, you can still keep your honor, too.
Maybe. But you'll have to pay a high price because Hagen's offer has one big advantage. I don't have to risk my life and that of my men to take it. So, what have you got to match that? Well, well. I never expected that from Radzig or from any of his people. It's a shame you didn't mention that coin right at the start. I'd have put a bit more effort into things.
You'll stay, then?
Obviously.
Well, it didn't seem so obvious to me.
Come on now, Henry. Don't take offence. And let's go and deal with Hagen.
It's true, Sir Hagen. This is not the first time I've paid Radzig back. Nor will it be the last. But then, he did save my neck from the noose. So I'll be long beholden to him. I'll make no bargain with you. But I will take your silver.
You would fight me? You're a damn fool.
I've no wish to fight, but neither do you. Otherwise you wouldn't have tried to buy me off. So it seems that we're evenly matched. Let's see who fortune favors.
So be it.
Well, that's that. Good work, lads.
Ha ha! Whoresons!
Well, now it's time for a drink.
Well, that's that. What now?
Now we'll go and look for peace in the bottom of a tankard.
That's all.
What else is there? That's the nature of the job, Henry. You go somewhere, kill some men, and then you go and get your reward. Unless you're doing it for nothing, like a fool. But you should go and bring Radzig some good news, finally.
Aye, I suppose I should.
If there's anything else you want from us, we'll be at the encampment in a few more days. And then, God willing, we'll move on. Well, if I don't happen to see you again, good luck.
God be with you, Henry. Congratulations on winning the tournament. I'm proud of you.
Sir, we got rid of Zul.
Finally, some good news. Tell me all about it.
We caught up with Hagen in the fields near Merhoyed, and there was a skirmish. It was a tough fight, but in the end, we were victorious. Hagen fell.
Good. That's good news, Henry. Any losses on our side? Kuno's men? How did they fare?
We were fortunate. Everyone survived, including Kuno.
That's how it should be. Anyway, you deserve a reward for your efforts. And thank you, Henry. Once again, I'm beholden to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you, sir. But I'm sure you'd have managed without me.
Don't be so modest, lad. Since that catastrophe at Skalitz, I don't have many people left that I can rely on. Best go and rest now.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
I'm glad you're here, Henry.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sahanush sent for me. No doubt he wants to give me another ear-bashing about the error of my ways. And he said to bring you too.
What has it got to do with me?
Plenty. You're in it with me ever since that hunt.
All right, we should get going then, shouldn't we, Sir Hans? The sooner we get it over and done with, the better.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hanush. But I see it wasn't necessary. You look as smart as any courtier.
Thanks. I'll try my best.
So I see. But you can come and get those clothes later anyway. They're a little worn, but they're as fine as anything you'll get in the county.
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's
sorry.
sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulfrin of Camburg? That name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too. A cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulfrin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair. After all, maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
of the rat-eyed tawny, Henry of Skalitz.
So, what do you think about this?
Old Hanush is right about one thing. It's time to stop chasing wenches and start chasing bandits. It'll be a bit of excitement for a change.
I agree. I was worried you'd be upset after Sir Hanish's speech.
Why would I? I finally have a chance to show Uncle what I can do. I can't wait. We'll ride there, hack those bastards to pieces, and celebrate with a good drink in the evening.
But Sir Hanish said we should get them out of the fiefdom without bloodshed if we can.
And how else do you suppose we can do that?
With diplomacy?
You can't parley with criminals. That would just damage Uncle's reputation. Every lowlife would think he could rob him without fear of reprisal. Enough talk. Let's mount up. Goodbye.
Sir Hanish sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
And mount up, youngster, and we'll move out. Lord Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that. I'm not going. Hanish said to handle this matter. I know what you meant, Captain. Forget it.
Devil, very well, Your Grace.
Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurses used to tell me. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that?
I sent them to scout ahead.
Those bastards will pay for this.
They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, we'll take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as crow meat.
Yes, Captain.
Good day, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good health to you.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsons are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
Isn't it dangerous?
About as dangerous as sitting here in the camp.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, sir. Where are the farms they raided?
One is uphill from Neuhof, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp.
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolflin is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolflin?
Nothing in particular. Just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Miloda, Wolfin, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfin's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. but only one of them lived till morning, the youngest, Wilhelm. His face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the Countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him. See you later.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Captain Bernard sent me. I'm here about the raid on your farm.
What? I've no idea what you're talking about, friend.
They raided your farm, didn't they?
No. I heard there was some raids hereabouts, but not here.
Something's not right. The captain sent me here to this very farm.
The captain must have made a mistake.
I suppose so.
May the Lord watch over you.
Jesus Christ be praised. How may I serve you?
Captain Bernard sent me. It's about that attack.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again. I don't know what else I can tell you.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so I need to hear every detail you can tell me.
What do you want to know?
How many of them were there?
2 or 3. I'm not sure. My head's still in a spin.
Which way did they go?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. My husband made me hide indoors, and I only saw them through the window.
So your husband was outside?
Yes, he tried to parley with them.
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in, which I told them in no uncertain terms as soon as they came here.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them there was nothing worth taking, and they just rode off again, without further ado?
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors the whole time.
Yes, I was. Mostly.
So were you inside or outside? Did you talk to them or not?
Well, like I say, it was confusing. I don't remember much.
Let's get one or two things straight. I'm here under orders from Captain Bernard, and that robber baron who came here crippled his cousin and killed 2 of his men.
What's that got to do with me?
Just so you know, the captain is very keen to see justice done, and it would not be wise to obstruct him.
My God, what have I done to deserve this?
So, what really happened here?
First, promise me you'll get rid of them.
That's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. We put up no resistance. I noticed one of them had an injured leg, so I offered to treat it for him.
That was very Christian of you, considering they came to rob you.
All I cared about was that they wouldn't kill us.
Go on. What happened then?
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same evening, they came back again. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp. And in the morning I came home again.
I understand. They threatened you.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to. But if they get away from you, they'll come back and get revenge.
Don't worry. We'll take care of them. So you know where they're camped? I'd like you to lead me there.
I won't go to their camp, no. But I know of a place where you'll have a good view of it.
That'll do me.
May the Lord watch over. I'm not going any further. If they saw me, I'd be done for. The camp's not far away in this direction.
Thanks. And don't worry. I'll deal with those bastards.
I pray you do.
Looks like I found it. I better get back and report to Captain Bernard. I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
The same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as they say. Otherwise, he'll be swinging tonight from the Rattay ramparts.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
I gave Sir Hanush my word I'd look out for his men, and I intend to keep it. So it's my duty to advise a parley.
You're going to advise me?
You're not seeing straight, Captain. No wonder, since Wolfland's your kin. Please, just grant me one thing. Let me go and parley. I'll find out more, and maybe we can settle everything without losing any men.
You want to parley? Listen, Henry, you can't rely on Wolfland to act honorably. There's every chance you won't come back.
Don't worry. I know it's a risky business, but have you got anyone better for the job?
No, I'm sorry to say I haven't. And Wolfland's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. And try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. God be with you.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. You are wearing Sir Bernard's colours. I suppose I should take you to Sir Wolfland. But if you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
Over here, you dolt! Where do you think you're going?
No one to rob here. Fucking boring.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Oleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
Ha! So Bernard's been telling those stories again. How my Oleshna cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Oleshna?
That bastard Malota stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malota convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back, though, didn't you?
Aye, I came back. But Mulata bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son. Me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not. But the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Sir Hanish's subjects and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Because you don't know what you're up against.
Don't I?
Sir Hanish has a guest in Rattay. The royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Of course. What of him?
Sir Radzig's gathering forces in Rattay to march against the king's enemies. So I'm sure you understand that your family quarrel, or rather your way of settling it, is quite a nuisance to him.
Say no more. I heard Radzig was driven out of Skalitz, but I didn't know he was in Rattay.
So you'll leave?
I wouldn't want to go up against an old friend.
You know each other?
Indeed we do. Give him my regards, won't you? And when he marches against Sigismund by the grace of God, tell him to send word to me in Camberg. I'd hate to miss it. And now go back and tell that Oleshna Viper that we're moving out.
To cheer me up.
But don't let him think he's frightened us off. It's out of respect for Sir Radzig.
I'll tell him. You're doing the right thing.
Run along, then.
I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
I talked them into moving out. Not only that, but they left all their loot and 60 groschen too, as compensation.
I can hardly believe it. That turned out a lot better than I expected. The coin is for Sir Hanush, I expect.
Naturally.
Well then, take the money and ride to Rattay. In the meantime, we'll break camp and make sure those bastards keep their part of the bargain.
Right, Captain. I'll be on my way.
And Henry, nice work. Good luck then.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I went to parley with Wolflin.
So how did that go?
I convinced him to take his gang and leave.
Really? I knew you were no fool, but that's something else. You're a born diplomat, Henry.
I don't know about that.
Don't be so modest. We have to drink to this. See you later.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir, I met the parish priest of Ujit, and I must say he's a very interesting man.
I should say so. Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? Rumor has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him, and vanished to foreign parts. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against the Turk at the Battle of Kosovo, and then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty, but he's a fair man and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice.
I have news from the camp, Sir Hanish.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wolflin.
Bernard agreed. I'm surprised.
So was I. I promised Wolflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot he took and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
Well done. It will take Bernard a while to get over his disappointment at not being able to get revenge. But the important thing is, we're rid of that troublemaker. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well.
So am I, sir.
And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Take